All right, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So I was recently, everybody's in their YouTube algorithm right now. It's winter, it's cold, but I really just wanted to get in here, talk about 5 tips for masculine energy. So, first of all, shout out to like all the ladies who are creating content on like ways, like feminine energy and just like ways to kind of like glow up and things like that. And I noticed it's a lot of women, like especially just like when you refresh the page and whatnot. So I kind of like, I know there's a lot of masculine content creators out there as well, but a lot of it focuses on, dating and like how to get the most girls. And it's like, that's cool, that's fine. I was in that place too where I was consuming that content, but it kind of stops there. Like once you are kind of in a relationship or kind of just a healthy man, it's like, well, where do we go from there? So I think kind of like masculine men need to think outside of just sex, relationships, women, how to get girls. There's so much more to it. So the first tip that I have is related to style, and I think it's a little bit more than just a Pinterest board or finding, clothes that are trendy. I call it like that intersection of minimalist and cool. So it's kind of like that Italian, whatever they call it in Italian. It's like that way of carelessness, almost like a way they dress that's just like looks immaculate, but at the same time it doesn't look like they tried. And I'm coming at it from like a more American lens because we hear a lot about the European style, and it's on point, I will say. So I'm not knocking it. I just feel like here in America, it's a little different. So I look at it more of finding that intersection. So for me, it's kind of sticking to the basics. The fit obviously is the king. So fit matters more than anything. Find a tailor, go to your tailor, and once you get those clothes locked in, you don't need to have much. And I used to make that mistake of having too many pieces of clothing, too many things that I liked pulling me in different directions. And it's kind of like that's where the minimalism comes in, because it's easy to audit your wardrobe. Once you have too much, just audit it, because you probably have too much. I still have too much, and I've donated so many bags over like the last couple years. And I'm finally starting to find that like this is what fits me, this is what I like. And so it takes time, but really hone in on it. And then going along with that, decluttering is my second tip. It's kind of like an unorthodox, I think, but I think decluttering really helped me get into my own masculine confidence, and it just helped me, like it just cleared my headspace. So I think that's where like my masculinity came out, because it was more about like not needing stuff and focusing on more of like the people around me, just kind of like the things that mattered, like my health, my mental space, my mental clarity, my, just being able to strike up a conversation with anyone. And I feel like it kind of stemmed from this decluttering space of just, like I said, auditing things, like auditing your wardrobe, auditing your home, things that you've once found you liked. It doesn't have to stick with you forever. Things, we change as people, as men, and we need to be open to that. And I feel like auditing everything is kind of like the way to the move. It kind of keeps you on par each year, and you have to make your space in your home, match that new year energy. And so going along with that, so the third tip is to keep clean, take care of yourself, just clean your body, shower, look clean, look presentable. I think there's always that, especially like I'm in Chicago, so there's always like there used to be like that little bit of like, oh, you're wearing jeans, like my guy friends used to be like, why are you trying? It's like, no, trying is cool. Girl, we don't have to let girls do all the trying. We should be trying. We should be trying when we dress. We should be trying when we groom. And like, yes, I know I need a haircut, and I'm trying to like do something here, grow it out, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But anywho, trying is cool. take pride in that. Try. You don't have to go overboard and do facials and massages and all that. I don't even do all that, but I think it's cool to try. Study your style, study, you know, study all these aspects, study how to put together outfits, you know. These are all aspects that you're going to need for the rest of your life. So try, keep clean, take care of yourself. It's pretty, you know, it's the basic one. And the fourth one is also the basic one, but I couldn't go without mentioning it. So it's building strength. I just think, you know, we're in a position as masculine men to be able to build strength. So once you realize that your genetics are on your side, you have to get strong. And it doesn't just mean physically. Obviously, physically in the gym, but you also need to be stronger mentally. I took a couple years of meditating, and in my head I would be like, oh, like I'm gonna have to meditate for the rest of my life. You can, and I do sometimes, but it doesn't have to be forever. It's just more of a tool to let you know what. It's a tool in the toolbox, so you know exactly what you can do when you're feeling a little stressed. You know you can go to your meditation, go to your quiet zone, and it helps you get in tune with your intuition, get in tune with yourself, and make better decisions. So that's, you know, strength mentally, physically in the gym, I mentioned that, and spiritually, either through church, a belief in a higher power, or, you know, just a higher calling. I think it's pretty well documented that whatever you believe in, you know, there's forces where, like, it's kind of the whole, you know, manifestation. It's like you could bend your brain to make your reality whatever you want. So it's kind of just like your own belief system, and realizing that, like, there are things that are gonna conspire without us. So it's like halfway of us, halfway of whatever this higher power is, however you want to look at it. It's kind of this building, you know, spiritual belief in the world, all living things, or even just, you know, this screen. Everything's got, you know, something for us. And then the last thing, I just think we need to love life more. I think we need to look out for people, be nice, just like have that high energy of like, I'm gonna open the door for everyone, not just the pretty girl. I'm gonna open the door, or I'm gonna, you know, it doesn't have to be like corny, like I'm gonna say hi, but like I do think that that high energy bleeds into other aspects of our life, and it kind of just like it feeds our masculinity in a healthy way, and it kind of teaches us to, you know, we're not just transactional people. We're meant to like look out for each other, and there's, you know, there, it grows your confidence, and there's power in helping others, and especially people that are, you know, marginalized or like looked down upon. It's like that's when you know you should be stepping up as a man. So don't feed into the crowd, help others, and, you know, we'll be the most masculine we'll be ever. Is right now. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.